Hello, brothers and sisters. Just want to let you guys see how beautiful it is here today. That noise you're hearing is my stupid mouse on my computer acting up. Got my window open, got my curtains pulled back, got Jason's TV on there, and of course, you guys would like to see Jason. Here he is. There's Jay, baby, feeling a lot better today. Jay, look over here. There's Jason, as you guys can all see. This is my baby brother. He's feeling a lot better today than he did yesterday, and the day before. So we're grateful that he is feeling better. Going to have to buy another mouse here eventually because this mouse is getting old. But anyway, there we go. Okay, now, I had a dream last night, which is why I came on, and I asked God to give me something last night, and He did. I want to kind of title the dream "Smell the Coffee." Wake up and smell the coffee. In one part of the dream, I was like trying to, and I always say, "Wake up and smell the coffee," you know. And when most people drink coffee, it wakes them up. In this dream, in one part, I was like in a restaurant, and I was ordering food, and then I went over to like the next thing. I was working in a convenience store / restaurant, which I have worked in a few of those, and I was over around the coffee area trying to get the coffee all fixed up, you know, getting it perked for people to drink. Which I used to make coffee, like when I worked at the convenience store. I used to make coffee for people who came in early in the mornings, and I'd have the coffee ready, coffee area all cleaned up and everything ready to go. And I remember I was in the coffee area fixing it and like trying to get the coffee made, but this one thing that held the filter that kept the decaf coffee ready to be made was messed up, and I was trying to fix it to get it to work where the coffee could be brewed, and it was bent or something. Next thing I know, I'm like in this quiet country setting, and I'm out at this little coffee area, like where they have, I guess, like out in their front yard or something. They have like a little coffee stand or something. They make coffee when they're outside or whatever. And I was out there getting ready to make coffee, and my aunt said, my aunt was in it. She said, "You don't need to make it now. It's getting late. We'll be all right without it." I said, "Okay, it's getting late. Wake up and smell the coffee. It's getting late. Put those together, okay?" And you'll see where I'm getting with this when I get to the rest of it. Well, I end up getting back to the restaurant, or the coffee place, the convenience store restaurant / reason why I had left all of a sudden and went like into a country scene, because it started getting chaotic. There was no way I could do anything. Too many people gathering in, and it was just too much to try to handle, so I went to where it was more milder. Which, in a way, is telling me we don't need to go to these people we know aren't going to listen. They're like the majority. They're always rolled up, ready to go. Doesn't matter. Just give them what they got to have so they can leave, you know. Where in the country, it was more like there was a setting there that we could have talked. But it was much too late for coffee to wake up, you know what I'm saying? Just put it together the way you can, okay? I'm not trying to be... I'm just saying I feel this is a sign, because I asked God to give me a dream last night, or give me something. I finally got the coffee area cleaned and made up, and all the coffee going, I guess because I got away from it. Next thing I know, I'm in a car with a friend of mine, well, kind of like my adopted grandmother, who died in 02, or 01, I'm sorry, day after 9/11. She died on 9/12. And the next year, my mom and dad died. But we were going up to her son's house, and her son's name is John. That's a weird noise out there. But anyway, we were going up to her son's house, and the place where he lived at was called Four Circle. Now, he lived there many years. We used to go up there and help clean his house and do yard work and stuff for him. He'd pay us for doing it. Because her son had money. Like, he had pretty good money coming in. So anyway, we're on our way up there. And we get up there, and there's no house. I mean, it's like we look up. There's not even where the house used to sit. There was not any proof. Just like it just caved straight down. There wasn't any proof of it. Like there used to be these. Going to his house, there's like these stone steps that lead up to the house because it's up on a hill, and that wasn't even there. The stone steps weren't even there either. They were gone. And all I remember was I went and I remember looking up there, and all I could see was like there was a house up there, but it wasn't his. It was like an old white house, which it may have been the top part of his house, because I'm thinking the bottom part of his house was brick and the top part was like siding, but I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I've been there, but I remember seeing this house like almost flattened. There was not even really, it didn't even look like there was even a house there. Then we drove on up the road a little piece, and there was like this kitchen chair, and I said, well, isn't that John's kitchen chair? I told her, and she said, I think she said, I can't remember her really making a response to that, but I said, it looks like his kitchen chairs, from what I remember him having, you know. But anyway, so I remember going, and it was like I could see total destruction as we were going up in the road. I could only go so far, and I had to turn around. It was like we were in like a little SUV or something. I'm not really sure what we were in, but we were in some kind of little vehicle driving. And all I remember was we went up there, and there was like destruction there, where the houses all over. And this is like the street was like, it was like ran in like something like a cul-de-sac at the end of it. But all the houses up through there, you couldn't even see the road for the debris. I mean, all these houses were like tore apart everywhere. And I believe it was like probably, I want to say we probably didn't get no more than maybe a couple blocks up that street. Okay, not even maybe a block and a half, which would be like a half a mile up on the street. The street is probably about 2 miles, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles long. We only got like less than probably 3/4 of a mile, maybe a half a mile up on the street, and then everything was just like the road was like gone from debris. Was all it just looked like a bunch of junk, like a truck, like a, I guess you would say a junkyard or a garbage landfill. And we turned around and came back down. And that's when I went back into the convenience store / restaurant, and there was like the coffee area was all ready. I believe people need to wake up and smell the coffee. Something's about to occur. Now, whether what I just said made any sense to you, it may have sounded kind of bobbled or whatever, and I'm sorry if it did. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. Last night in our chat church, Sister Mandy and Sister Glennis, I'm sure, and but she didn't really say much. But well, she did today though. She told me so. Yeah, she does feel the same way. There's like some people feel it in a fear type of a feeling, and others feel it as in a sadness. Okay, a sadness to a fear. And like last night, Brother Jay and Sister Mandy and myself, we were talking about how we all feel there's like a sadness over us. And I was saying last night, I believe in my heart that goes for the fact that that we're sorry about that, someone tooting a horn on their car. I guess toot your own horn. But anyway, it's kind of like what we were experiencing was kind of like a pulling away from the world, you know. I mean, like I was telling them, it's like, you know, the true children of God are feeling a sadness because we don't belong here no more. There's nothing that can entertain us in this world that can entertain us. True children of God cannot be entertained by the world. We want to go home and be with God. Like I was telling him, yes, God gave me a beautiful car. Okay, He did. He gave me a real beautiful car and a beautiful home. JJ, please drink your juice. And He gave us a beautiful home and everything. Okay, and but all this stuff we have is not worth staying for. I'm so ready to go. I'm so ready to go home. I am so ready to go home. You know, I mean, I just feel like we need we're getting ready to get out of here. We're getting ready to go home. And that's why the true children of Christ are feeling like a sadness, because we can't be happy in a world full of wickedness. And Brother Jay was saying, he asked last night, something along the way, is it just me, or is everybody feeling a sadness in that way? It wasn't the exact words he said, but it was something similar, like, I wondered if I was the only one feeling this, like a sadness, like an overwhelming unhappiness, not where we're at. And it came to me when we was in the room listening to Pastor Charles Lawson, and a few other things that we watched last night and listened to music we listened to. It just came to me that we as children of God are being pulled away, and true children of God, we don't want anything to do with the world anymore. And wake up and smell the coffee part of the dream just now came to me too. Is like people who live around me here in the complex where I live at, and I'm trying to tell them about God. They don't want to hear about the Lord. They want to hear more about their fun, their getting drunk, their carousing and stuff like that. They don't want to talk about anything but that. It's my OJ. I love my orange juice in the morning. But anyway, like I was saying, it seems like we just need to we just need to stay strong and continue to pray God's will over our family and friends, over our chat church too. I ask all your prayers, please, because I don't know what else to do, but I ask you guys to please pray for us. Something is definitely about to happen somewhere. There was last night, Sister Mandy got up. She said around 3 or 4, and she went to lay back down, and she had this filing box on like around her bed somewhere, and it fell and hit her, and I guess in the head. And she got up and went to the computer and found out that I think it was Chicago or California or something had an earthquake. It was up to like 3.9, 4.9, something like that. And the intensity of these earthquakes are just getting more and more. I'm not here to give you a doom and gloom. I'm not here to give you fear mongering or nothing like that. I'm just here to tell you, I don't know when Jesus is going to return. I feel like, some people say we're on a high rapture watch because of this, because of that. We're on a high rapture watch all the time, because it could happen at any moment. Don't listen to these people setting dates and stuff like that. They don't know nothing. You listen to people, we're in a high rapture watch this time, and I've heard a few people say that more than one time. It's like every time we get near a feast date or something like that, they're saying we're close. You know what? If it was going to be on a feast date, don't you think the Bible would have said near a feast date? It says no man knows. Men have just kind of put it to their point that it's going to be near a feast date. And when it doesn't happen, they change their mind. Just about every year you hear people say, well, we're getting close to the, to the sackcloth and ashes, or we're getting close to the, Yom Kippur. This is when, or the Passover. Well, I mean, if any of them, I think the Passover would be the one that it happened on. But I truly believe it can happen at any time. It doesn't have to be a feast day or anything like that. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can be any time. It's in God's time, not man's. And when man quits trying to figure out the mind of God, it's then when they'll actually see a difference. Brothers and sisters, I'm just asking you all to please keep praying for one another. Don't be listening to man-made videos. If there are people on here always giving, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Lord, you got to wonder, why are they getting so many messages? It's almost as if they want to make you think that they're better than you are. And I'm not saying that some of them don't hear from God like they do, because it can be possible. God works His way, not ours. But I've had people tell me that God's told them stuff, but they aren't allowed to say anything right now. You know what the Bible says? That prophecy is of no impersonal interpretation, which means no man has a special on it. No man can say, well, God told me, but I ain't allowed to tell nobody. If God tells you something, He wants you to tell it. That's in the Bible, God's Word. God is not a respecter of no man. Respect to me, I don't know. I just don't, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like there's no impersonal interpretation. Like you get your own version of a prophecy given to you, but you're not allowed to tell nobody else about it. I don't think that's the way God works. If that's a fact, if God did give the date to somebody and told them, you ought not tell nobody, do you think they're going to keep that back? They're going to be too excited. They're going to be wanting to tell. That's why I don't understand them saying, well, God's told me things, but I ain't allowed to say nothing yet. Wouldn't that be kind of an impersonal interpretation of a prophecy? If you get your own version from God, but you're not allowed to say nothing? I don't know. I think it is personally, but that's just my opinion. You may think different. You got a right to. I just don't understand how people can. They try to make people think they know better than anybody else. And I got news for you. God's not a respecter of men, which means to me He doesn't see any other man better than any other. He loves us all the same. Why do some have stronger walk? Well, because they seek God stronger. That's what the problem is. A lot of people think, well, you know, I'm not as strong in the Lord as brother Mike is, but I do pretty good. Well, that's because Brother Mike's seeking God. Or it could be Brother Mike is, you know, or it could be he's seeking God more, or he's making up a lot of stuff, you know. And that isn't to my brother Michael either, Bubby. I'm talking about just a name Mike, period. I don't know why Mike came up, but because you don't act that way at all, brother. If you watch this, Bubby, you don't never act that way, so, you know. I just think we all need to stay strong. And we need to all stay in prayer for one another, because Jesus is coming soon. He is coming soon. I hope this dream, if anybody can make sense out of the dream about the tornado or hurricane or earthquake or whatever it was, if anybody can make any sense out of it, please help me. Leave a comment, or if it's one of my brothers or sisters in the chat church, you can bring it up in the chat church tonight. Our chat church is at WATING4Jesus 2015, and that's at www.tinychat.com/WATING4Jesus 2015. 9 p.m. tonight Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. If this video makes sense to anybody, please let me know that it does, because right now I feel like I just got on here for no reason. But then again, that's the way the enemy likes to do. But I love you all, and I pray that you all have a wonderful day. God bless you, and see you soon with Jesus. And I do mean soon. Don't give up looking. Stay strong. Stay prayed up. Stay repentant. Jesus is coming.